Ooh, I only got 40 minutes. I didn't pay for the upgraded thing. Oh my God. Can I do that now? Wonder if it'll let me.
Might be able to.
Well, we'll just have to breeze through it. I don't think she's only going to take probably 20 minutes. Um, let's see. Maybe I can ask her. Um, how long are you gonna? The idea was, um, since I'm doing two calls, we're going to do two 30-minute calls. One today, because it usually, I mean, it probably split up everyone, but one today and then one on Saturday at 6. Um, and then the idea is that I'd like to eventually make it so one of those calls is specifically for self-development and one of those calls is specifically on sobriety. So like either or, it could be, you know, Saturday is self-development and Wednesdays is sobriety. Um, and then yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. I got a new Steve Austin shirt today. It came in the mail today. Very
Oh,
excited.
are you gonna show it or
Yeah, I was
what,
actually I just wa I washed it because I always cut the sleeves off because I don't like clothes in general. It's restricting. So
dude? Yeah.
I cut the sleeves and then I wash it to get all the little things, the frays off. So it's washing right now. But
I feel
it's
I
good.
feel like incomplete because I keep an NWO shirt in inventory and I currently don't have one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bruh, I need to get
I probably have six.
oh, I need to get a
Carolina. How you
couple more.
doing, Carolina?
Hey, hey.
Can't hear you. Unmute. Are you muted? Hold on. Hold on.
Wow, it
There you
just
go.
like an old just an old person
Yeah.
logging on.
Boomer over here.
I'm here. I know. Thanks, guys. Hi, thanks for having me on. I'm Carolina. Nice to meet everyone.
You go by you Carolina or Carolina?
I mean, if you're American, Carolina makes sense. I like to say it's like the state with a little Latin flair, and then
Okay.
when they see me, they're like, "That makes sense."
Okay, Carolina. We'll go with that.
Okay,
I'll use the Latin flair.
there you go.
We'll wait a couple more minutes. I want to whose iPhone? Who is that? You can if you don't feel like coming off mute, you can just tell me in the chat. Okay. There should be a few more, I'm sure. Craig's here, Ron's here, iPhone is here, Chris is here. Oh, is that Chris? Or no? Hold on. Oh, Chris has joined. Chris, how you doing? Chris, thanks for joining us. Okay, we'll give it a few more minutes. I know that a few more said they were going to come. Um, so just so you know, my idea. So these are all. Did I send you anything? Okay, so I'll just give you an idea. So I have a 16-week program where these are some of my clients, and it's about sobriety. And what I do is I put together a program that basically is I would say like a holistic approach to sobriety, not just focusing specifically on the sobriety, but using things like fitness, nutrition, self-development, mindset work, and stuff like that to become a better person while staying sober. You know, we talk a lot about sobriety and we talk a lot about different things. So I'm going to do two calls a week. One is going to be like on self-development, and one is going to be specifically about sobriety, where I bring people on to share their stories. So this basically is kind of like the self-development side. I have a friend that's going to talk about breath work. Then I'll bring a girl in with nutrition. I have that book. So, and this is something if you want to jump on like once every couple months or something like that, we can do that, you know?
That's awesome, JR.
Yeah.
Nice. This is great. It's I think the integration, not just going to meetings, but
Yeah.
having like the step-by-step playbook of like, what do I do now? I feel like
Yeah.
when we are in that state of fight or flight or recovering from addiction, trauma, etc., it's
Mhm.
like we can't even trust our own responses of what we should do. So to
Yeah.
have a guide and yeah, just different modalities and
Yeah.
things that people can pick and choose what works for them because not everyone's into fitness the same way that we
Yeah.
are. Not everyone wants to do the nutrition thing as strict as some people do,
Yeah.
but like where are the boundaries that they can work with? So that's awesome.
I try to meet everyone where they're at and focus on like there's some people that are really just want the fitness and focus on that. Some people are more, you know, onto the learning new habits and replacing destructive habits with good habits. And the idea is that I mean I would like to work with a lot of people that are coming straight out of rehab and the idea behind it is that I know that when you get out of rehab, a lot of people don't have a guide. They don't know where to go next. And their friends are all people who are in addiction and who drink and who do drugs. So they kind of start isolating themselves because they don't know where to go, what to do.
Mhm.
They don't have hobbies. They don't have anything to replace their addiction. And then they get depressed. They have mental health issues, and then they start using again. And, I'd love to be able to bridge that gap to from like where, they get sober and then they go back out in the real world, help them
Into the
find.
real world,
Yeah.
right? With better skills for
Yeah.
sure. How many are in your group?
Well, we have about 18 total, but they don't, some of them can't ever make the calls. So that's why I do two calls. So sometimes I can, they can go to the one on Saturday or they can come to the one on Wednesday. Hi, Halana. I saw that. What's the deal? We can't see you. You're just gonna hide? And Chance, happy birthday again. Chance, it's your birthday. Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Happy birthday,
Awesome.
my man.
Hey, thank
How you
you.
doing?
Thank you.
How you doing, bud?
For me?
Yeah, how you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm blessed. Feel
Yeah.
good.
How's
Yep,
your how's
yep.
your how's your leg?
Actually, coming along very well.
Nice.
Very well.
Nice.
Big improvement. Getting a lot of more movement out of it, less pain. So
Nice.
I'm happy.
That's good to hear. All right. So I'm gonna and I didn't I meant to do this and I didn't pay for the upgraded version of Zoom. So
That's all good. It's
yeah,
okay. It can be
we'll do.
short and sweet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what I'm gonna do, we'll start now. I just want to real quick. Let's go around the room and make it quick. Craig, give me some wins for this week.
Got that first talk, so that was exciting and fun.
Yep.
Uh, let's see, I have just got back from a camping trip with my girlfriend. We went and hiked some waterfalls
Hell yeah.
and just stayed out deep in the woods. That was just a good time. So good time to bond with her and spend some quality time with her, refresh my spirit, and it's back to work. My back is healing up,
Okay.
so it's still in rough shape, but it's gotten a lot better through physical therapy and just staying moving and stuff. So all in all, man, feeling good, and life is headed in a good direction right now. So
That's
I'm
fucking
just trying
awesome,
to
bro.
keep that momentum.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. All right, let's pop over to Robin. Robin, share some wins. Tell me something good. Wait, we unmute. Here you go. I'm gonna mute Craig. We got a
Okay,
bunch, there we go.
can y'all hear me?
Bunch of boomers in the room today.
Right. What's up, everybody? First and foremost, proud of everybody who's here. My wins for the day and for the week, I have consistently hit over 10,000 steps Monday,
Nice.
Tuesday, and Wednesday. So today being my highest step day of 12.2, 100% sober all week. So those are two major wins in my
Nice.
life, and I'll take it.
Okay, good, 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 good. All right, we're gonna pop over to Chance, birthday boy. Give me some wins.
Well, big one sobriety still,
Sobriety number one.
yeah, no, no worries on that. Still staying strong with that. Success for my leg, making real good progression. Quality time with my son. Me and my son, that was really fun. We worked out together
Hell yeah.
and got a good workout in. And he's a pretty strong kid. So that was fun. That
How
was
old
good
is he?
bonding. 12,
Oh, nice. Yeah,
12,
my kid's 11.
twelve.
I told him one more year and we're going to the gym together.
Yeah, so that was pretty awesome. We had a good time. Um, that's about it. Remaining
Okay.
peaceful, calm. Everything's going in the right direction.
Nice. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Halana, can you get off mute? What's the deal with you? What are you hiding? What are you doing? Let's see here. And Chris, if you want to jump in, share some wins. If not, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to give you guys about 10 seconds if someone wants to jump in. Otherwise, we're going to get started. Um, and I am going to. Um, now I've mentioned it a lot. I've talked about meditation. I'm new to meditation. I've always thought that I couldn't do it. And oh, Halana, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm sorry. I've just had a crazy busy day and had to get
Okay.
in the shower and
All right.
so but yeah,
Give,
hey, how are y'all doing today?
give me two quick wins.
Two quick wins. Starting my workout, been doing really good with it.
Okay.
And then also helping feed the homeless.
Nice. Fuck
Yeah.
yeah. Service, giving
All
back.
right.
That's what I like to hear. All
Yep.
right, cool. So real quick, like I said, I'm no expert, so I cannot comment too much on it. I've learned to meditate lately. I started going to a hypnotherapist, and I realized that I can fucking. It was the most, and I've talked about it already. It was the most mind-blowing thing. I'm sitting in the chair, and the guy's doing his thing, and I get out of it and I'm like, okay. I'm like, how long was that? Like 10 minutes? He's like, that was an hour. I'm like, I've been laying in this fucking chair for an hour, not moving. I was like, I have ADHD. I could never do that. So it really made me realize that I can meditate and I can shut my brain off. So I've been working on it. But yeah, and it's great. And the idea is like, for I think people in sobriety between it helps reduce cravings, lower stress, helps with if you're feeling overwhelmed, it helps with that. Focus and clarity, discipline, a lot of good reasons to work on meditation. So I brought Carolina here and she's going to jump in and talk a little bit and bring us through a guided meditation. Let's do it.
Hi, guys. My name is Carolina. I wanted to start with a little intro about myself. Let's see, had a really fucked up life, and then now it's not fucked up. The end. And in the middle of all of that was a bunch of stuff that came, and I was thrown a lot of scenarios and a lot of repeating patterns almost, right? And I feel like addiction was one of those things. If it wasn't drugs, it was alcohol. If it wasn't drugs or alcohol, it was sex. So however way, if it wasn't drugs, alcohol, and sex, then it was working out. And then working out turned into injury. So it was just like, no matter where I was directing my addictive personality, I was getting like huge roadblock. And so I started to realize that there was something internally that had to be fixed instead of all of these external forces trying to fill the void. And that's really easier said than done. Here I am like 10 years later after my super addictive episode. And I'm able to see things from like an observer's point of view from where I was. And man, if I only had all the right tools to integrate where I was and bridge the gap into, where I am now. And some of us have a hard time bridging that gap. And meditation, along with my faith, really helped things like pan out and see things from a different perspective. I I really want to include the faith portion of it because, as you know, in your AA program, we are leaving things to a higher power. So whomever that higher power is, it's very important that we just acknowledge that not everything can be us, that we have to give some of that burden away respectfully, gracefully, and accept that we are still alive on this planet for a reason, even if we don't know what that full plan looks like. To have faith that your heart is still bumping, there's still breath in your lungs, and there's purpose for you. And this whole life is just that journey into that exploration of what your purpose is. Now, as a yogi, so I directed a lot of my energy into yoga when that came about. It's not like, okay, I went through sobriety and then found yoga and everything was like happy go lucky. It was a lot of things that worked in with it. But I was at a point where, if you guys have ever read The Untethered Soul, just add that to your book list. It's a great book, but it does talk about this little voice in your head as your annoying roommate. And so that voice in your head can sabotage you. And when we're coming out of trauma, when we're coming out of addiction, when we're coming out of fight or flight mentality, that voice in our head is not on board with us. It's taking on all of the experiences that we've had throughout our life and projecting that onto everything in front of us. And you sit with your voice in your head, and I think that's the biggest resistance that people have to meditation is like, I don't feel safe with that voice in my head, and I don't want to be there. I don't want to listen to the repeat of how shitty I am. I don't want to have these flashbacks of all the shit that I did. I don't want to have that sudden urge to suppress this and go get a drink. I totally get that. And that's when I learned that meditation is so much more than just silencing your mind. And this is my goal moving forward with sharing the practice of meditation, is to really simplify it. Like, keep it simple, stupid. That's like my mantra. Like, it really doesn't have to be. I think when I came into yoga and meditation, I was just like, I can't do that. I have ADHD. I'm like a busybody. Get me going. I want to burn calories. I want to do my steps. I've got stuff to do. So when I would observe people sitting in this peaceful state, all namaste like, I'm like, that's not accessible to me. That's impossible for me to sit. And then I learned more about it. So here's what really delved me into meditation. If any of you have a personal faith practice where prayer is included, prayer is really important. And prayer, I found, to use it synonymously. Okay, hopefully that's not recorded. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm trying. It's the end of the day. I'm trying with my words. English is not my first language. Okay, so I use it a lot. Prayer and meditation, same, a little different. So when you're focusing on giving thanks. Thank you for having this body, this breath, this heartbeat, my family. I'm alive. I'm well. Thank you. And then moving into whatever your prayer is, sometimes it's an intention. It's like, hey, I'm really struggling through this. Can you help me, give me direction, this and that? So you start talking to something that's external. That's the difference between prayer and meditation. Meditation is internal. Prayer, you're looking a little external. And that prayer can look like anything based off of your faith and your way that you want to communicate to higher power. Meditation is your almost your prayer or your review, retrospect of let's call it the God within you. Let's call it your highest version of self. Let's call it you've been created by an amazing creator, and that creator is living within you. And whatever voice you have currently in your head that's sabotaging you and telling you you're not good enough, you're not worthy of love, you're not worthy of grace, that voice gets to move out, and you start to think a little bit and feel a little bit and notice, observe a little bit more from what's coming in that deepest part of you, where goodness, love, everything that you ever wanted is speaking. Now that takes me to my next point about intention setting. And now in yoga, we call that sankalpa. It's a fancy word. It's a Sanskrit word that means intention setting, moving with purpose. Why did you get sober? What was going on in your life prior to that had you come to a point that say, this isn't working for me? At some point, something came up and said, this isn't working for me. And so start from that place. Start from that place of like, this isn't working for me. What will work for me? Who am I? How am I? How do I want to act? How do I want to react? How do I want to feel around people? And we start to pull all these elements together, and we start to integrate all areas of our life. And that's a beautiful part about meditation, is that our mental, our emotional, our spiritual, and our physical are all part of this same existence that create our human experience. And me is Carolina, and JR is JR, and Robin is Robin, and Chance is Chance, and Craig is Craig, and Chris is Chris, and everybody else. You all come with your own experience, and we could have all had the same experience being on the Zoom call. And we walk out of here with a different little nugget that we choose to carry with us. So our internal being has accumulated all these little subconscious experiences, and we kind of let them sit in our body because we're too busy. We got shit to do. We got people to see. So it sits in our body, and it sits in these weird little places. They are called emotional centers of the body. I'm sure you've heard people say, like, oh, we hold all of our trauma in our hips and our hips get tight. Our shoulders are the same thing. Like, we hold this burden on our shoulders. Our psoas muscle, which is really deep in our core, it really connects your upper body to your lower body. So we get these aches and pains in our body, and we're just like, I'm still too busy to deal with it. I gotta go. Then you get to a point where you hit rock bottom. And you're like, what the heck just happened? How did I get here? That's where meditation comes in. That's where we get to, moving forward, take a moment to sit and not judge ourselves. Just sit and see how we're acting in the world and how the world is acting towards us. And when we become the third person observer of our mind's thoughts, we start to see the patterns that we're like, oh yeah, this guy came around who's emotionally unavailable. And I repeated the pattern again because I don't think I'm ready. Use your own example. Use your own set of examples of patterns that you've chosen to repeat over and over again. But we're too busy moving through the motions of life to sit, reflect, and decide, is this how I want to move forward? Or can I choose a different route? Now, meditation, like you said, it does provide a lot of benefits to our brain. I wrote some notes down. So if I'm looking down, just looking at my notes here. Now, the meditation improves the size of the amygdala in the brain. So the amygdala is your emotional alarm system. This is your fight or flight. If it's over large, if it's like expanded, that's usually what happens in trauma survivors and anyone who's in that state, that our response to stress is over heightened. And if you've had a very traumatic childhood or dysfunctional childhood, like myself, where, everything is falling apart over a glass of spilled milk, like everyone's crying over a glass of spilled milk, like your trauma response, like that response is like, oh my gosh, I spilled some milk and the whole world is going to end. I'm getting in super big trouble. You do that as like, you respond that way as a young kid. Your response to other factors of stress that are way more stressful besides a glass of spilled milk is now over heightened. Now, your response to trusting someone, discerning, is this a safe space? Is this a safe person? That kind of gets blurred. So what meditation does is it regulates and almost, I don't want to say like make it smaller as a bad thing, but your fight or flight response reduces significantly. And so because it reduces in size, you become less reactive to stress and are able to respond more calmly. And now that response of how do you respond? How do you respond more calmly? When we sit and we think, and I'm going to give you a few different examples of meditation because I don't want you guys to think that sitting like the Buddha is the only way to meditate around here. There's definitely other ways. When we sit and we think, we hold that intention close to our heart or our prayer, like my intention for sitting down in this meditation is to feel calm, safe, and at peace in my own body and mind. Okay, so here I am sitting in meditation. I said my intention. Now I'm thinking about things. I'm thinking about the car accident that happened that I saw earlier. And then I start thinking about work and I start thinking about all the things. And then I bring myself back. All right, I notice those thoughts, but my intention is still, I am here to feel safe and at peace in my own body and mind. Then let the thoughts happen. I think that's the biggest misconception of meditation, is that you're not meant to silence your mind. You're not meant to be quiet, at peace, and feel comfortable in it at all. Meditation is literally working avenues in your brain, in your neurochemistry, just like working out, just like working big group muscles. You want leg day, you want booty day, you're going to work for it. It's going to be tough. And you're going to want to quit. And you're going to want to say this sucks. But you know that in 6 weeks from now, you're going to have a dump truck that everyone's going to be staring at. So let's commit to ourselves and stay in this commitment. Stay with your intention. Repeat, repeat. Now, our dump truck is not in our brain. Our brain, our meditation purpose, the muscle that we're working is nervous system regulation. And nervous system regulation is the creme de la creme in, I think, being a human today. There's a lot of people are going to piss you off. And guess what? You are personally in your own body, in your own mind, connected with the God created within you, whose intention is to bring forth peace, whose intention is to bring forth whatever it is your intention is, whatever that conviction is within you. And so how you react is either going to take you one step closer to that conviction or one step further away. So when we take the moment throughout their day, and it doesn't have to be a long meditation, guys, I think I have time for like, a 5-minute little guided meditation. It doesn't have to be big at all. When you take those 5 minutes throughout the day, hopefully multiple times a day, to breathe deeply, And we can start to see, hey, this is my intention. This is my intention. This is my intention. And that intention, that mantra that you're repeating in your head creeps into your nervous system, creeps into your physical body, creeps into your emotional body, and has no other choice but to creep into the actions that you actually put out into the world. But if you keep saying that I'm a shitty person and I'm just an alcoholic and I'm just gonna, fuck shit up and I always fuck shit up, then that's what's gonna come out. But the meditation is that soft, graceful part of ourselves where we accept ourselves for who we are, for the shortcomings that we have, and we think, hey, my conviction is here as my highest version of self. How can I show up as her? Now, if you think about yourselves just 10 years ago, and you're like, man, I want to be the person that I was really needing guidance from 10 years ago. And I'm going to step into that. Then think about the version of yourself 10 years from now that's looking at you and like just so proud of your journey and where you're starting and how hard it can be. But that person 10 years later is telling you, hey, keep it going. Keep it going. You're going to make it. You're going to make it through. Let that be the little voice in your head that is your roommate, that is supporting you, that is cheering you on. And at first, it's going to feel really cringy, really inauthentic to look at yourself in the mirror. And I hope you're already doing that. That is, I feel like hopefully that's part of your 12-step program, or just like working with a sponsor or working with with a group of people, is putting out those wins like you guys are doing. You have an accountability group here. Meditation is your own personal accountability with the highest version of self within. Let's see. Okay, there's like prefrontal cortex in your brain that is in control of emotional regulation. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Meditation is for that nervous system regulation. Those are big wins. That's way beyond what money can give you. That's way beyond what, your spouse, your significant other can give you. That's not up to them. It's really up to us to find that and notice what our triggers are and be like, oof, I can't step into that situation because I know I'm going to go batshit. Or I'm full. My cup is full. I know what I'm stepping into. We're going to test it out. I'm going to see if I can overcome with a different mindset. And it's a muscle, guys. It's a muscle. It really is. And there's going to be downfalls and there's going to be failures. And that's just how life works. But don't let every failure bring you down. Let every failure be like, oh, I know what not to do. This meeting has been upgraded. Okay, very good. Sorry. I got my little notification. Last little brain thing. It lowers your cortisol levels. So it improves your heart rate variability, and that's how your nervous system adapts to stress. I don't know about you guys. I used to suffer from panic disorder. So I would have these emotional panic attacks. And in my process of learning meditation, I learned that my breath was a huge part of why I was hyperventilating and giving myself my own personal panic attack, because I couldn't necessarily keep up with the overwhelm in my mind. And so my body started not being able to keep up, and my breath would expand. So wherever you guys are, if you are driving, of course, don't stop and close your eyes. Just keep on driving, doing your thing. You don't have to include yourself in this at all. You can just listen to my voice. But I'm going to have this little moment, if you'd like, to really just sit and be with ourselves. A few different forms of meditation can be when we're first starting off, I really love guided meditations. Anything that can guide you, anything that you can listen to and just let the voice kind of carry you. I brought my sound bowls here, so I'm going to do a little sound bowl meditation. 100% recommend that. Now that does something else to your brainwave state, where just like JR said with hypnotherapy, it gets you to a brainwave state where you feel like 10 minutes has gone by, boom, a whole hour, and you wake up feeling refreshed. That's a whole other, there's just so much cool stuff to meditation and tuning into the brain, the mind, the breath. So 10 out of 10 recommend sound bowls or any type of, guided meditation. So we'll start with that, but Another thing I wanted to share, you don't have to be perfect at it. Actually, I promise you 100% of the people, besides the super fancy monks that are in their orange attire, um, they're all thinking about stuff, and their mind is wandering and their mind is wandering and their mind is wandering. That is the whole meditation practice: to sit, to reflect, hold your intention, and then just watch the thoughts go by in your mind. Don't attach, this is a good thought, this is a bad thought. Don't attach anything. Practicing the act of non attachment and just observing yourself as is. Almost think about yourself as a parent. It's hard for me at first to think that way because I didn't have like the best parent system to really uplift me and cheer me and like love me 100% unconditionally. I had to figure that out for myself. And so if I were a parent to someone and I was like, wow, I don't want you to fear the trauma or feel unvalued or unloved, how am I going to reflect? How am I going to view you? So I started seeing myself as like younger version of self. How did I need to be? How did I need to be held? How did I need to be understood? When you meditate at first, maybe you see yourself like that, with so much compassion, so much understanding. It's okay, baby girl. You had that thought. Just let it ride. Just let it go on by. What was your intention again? That's right. Let the next thought go by. So, with all of that being said, don't overcomplicate it. If you're thinking about other things, so what? Bring it all back to your intention. Does your intention have to be profound? Sometimes absolutely not, because we're already overwhelmed with everything else we have to do. I want to feel at peace. Say it like you mean it. Not, I want to feel at peace. Say, I am at peace. What are some other intentions, actually? If you guys are open to it, if you have an intention that you would like to share that is heavy on your heart right now, you can unmute yourself and share that. I'll just give it a few seconds here. JR, do you have an intention?
All right, well, let me ask you a question. When you say intention, like what would be like an example of an intention?
All right. So when you sit down at whatever setting, you're like, all right, I'm here to meditate. Why are you meditating? Just ask yourself that. Why are you sitting down to meditate? You're like, I want to feel at peace. Okay. My intention is I am at peace.
Yeah. Well, that would be it, like being at peace and maybe getting rid of anxiety and
Okay, very good. So I want to get rid of anxiety. How can we say that in the present tense?
I am not anxious.
So our brain doesn't understand the negative.
Okay.
Do your best to not use not.
I am a person without anxiety.
What does a person without anxiety, what are the attributes of a person without anxiety? Don't hone in on anxiety. Anxiety is what we're trying to remove. So what are the attributes of a non-anxious person?
Calm,
Confident.
Calm and confident and at peace.
At peace.
At peace.
I love the calm confident, because when you're anxious, I feel like that's a complete opposite. You're running around like a chicken without a head and like not feeling safe anywhere. So when you're thinking about stuff, that's also the fun part of this brain game. And you're like, okay, I want to do, I want to not feel anxious. I want to not drink. So think about what that looks like. Hold those characteristics and then place them on yourself. Remove the anxiety, remove the anger, and put on what you want. So that was a really good question. So when intention setting, put on what you want, what you desire, what your highest power, what your highest version of self embodies. So good question. We can keep our intentions to ourselves now as we and if you want to share, I'll leave my contact information with JR. He already has it. You're welcome to reach out to me for anything if you choose to. So I'm going to have you guys sit. Again, if you are driving or occupied with other things, just allow yourself to listen. But if you have the availability to sit in a comfortable position, go ahead and find yourself in that. And just like fix your hair, adjust your pants, get into a, if your legs are extended out in front of you, if you're on your lazy boy and you need a recline back, go for it. That's the other thing, is that meditation, your state of where you are, it doesn't have to look like anything than what you want it to look like. And so with your hands over your knees here on your lap, just let yourself settle. Maybe you have other little distractions going on. Maybe you have a pet nearby or kids in the other room, or you hear traffic outside. Just let it be and just tune in to what you notice right here and right now. All the external factors. Tuning into our senses, we start to hear the noises around us. We start to feel the temperature on our skin. We start to notice the little scents and aromas near us. Maybe a lingering smell of dinner being cooked, or a candle being lit nearby. I mean, notice the taste in your mouth. Maybe you just had a little snack or it's a little stale. Just swallow a few times, lick your lips. We start to tune into the 5 senses that we know of in our body. And while our eyes are closed at the moment, we can still see. We can visualize. Allow the black behind the eyelids to be a movie theater screen or a carousel of sorts, noticing the thoughts just gliding through the eyelids. It could be any thought. You just notice that it's there and you pass it on by. Or maybe that little voice in your head is taking on the main screen and you notice him. You can even attach a little color or character to them. And now we begin to tune into the internal sensations. Feeling the breath move through the body as your ribs expand out wide. And open mouth exhale. So you just let those shoulders fall a little more. And then taking those deep breaths to the bottom of our lungs as we inhale, expand the ribs, your belly pushes out. And full exhale. The yogic saying is, the longer the breath, the longer the life. So we breathe deeply, expanding the muscles of our diaphragm. And exhale completely. And as you breathe deeply, send a little thank you to your body, to your higher power. Sending gratitude for this amazing vessel we get to call home. And in this space of gratitude, set intention. Doesn't have to be anything profound other than I am at peace. Now, as you sit and you breathe and you reflect on the thoughts that pass by, you notice if those thoughts are supporting your intention or not. Nothing has to change in this moment other than noticing gracefully and compassionately noticing. Letting the breath be long. Continuing to keep our eyes closed and just tune in a little more on the sensations of the body, reaching your breath and your intention to the tips of your toes. Maybe you attach a color to your breath or your energy, or that feeling of peace weaving through the toes, the bottoms of the feet, wrapping around the legs, hugging the knees, setting your energy and your breath, your peace around the tops of the thighs, the hips, wrapping around the right hip bone, across the belly to the left hip bone, feeling it run across the back side of our body, the base of our spine, letting that energy ride up vertebrae by vertebrae, passing through the belly space, wrapping around the torso, hugging the ribs as the energy, the intention, and the breath fills our lungs, wraps around the heart space to the back of the left shoulder, over to the right shoulder, across the front side of your body, opening up your heart, expanding your chest, across the collarbones and down your arms. Let the energy, the breath, and the intention reach the tips of the fingers. Your actions reflect peace. Feeling that breath, the energy, and the intention ride up the arm bones, inside the forearms, up the biceps, wrapping around the collarbones once again until it reaches around the throat, where the words you speak are peaceful. Feeling the energy rise up around the jawline to the cheekbones, around the nostrils, up the nose, reaching to the third eye between the forehead. The energy, the love, the intention, reaching the very top of the crown. Embodying the entire skull, feeling into the deepest part of your heart center. Feeling the whole body from tips of the toes, through the hips, the torso, the heart space, all the way to the crown of the head. The whole body receives your message. The whole body integrates your message. Just noticing how those senses feel, what the senses are picking up now. What do you hear? What do you smell? What do you taste? What do you feel? And with your eyes still closed, what do you see? And taking another deep breath in, expanding the ribs, taking a little more air. Full open mouth exhale. Bringing your hands to prayer if you can. And just saying a silent thank you to yourself, to your commitment, to the highest version of self that lives within you, that speaks to you, that wants to be heard. Thank you so much for following along in the guided meditation. We say namaste at the end of a yoga class or a practice like this. It is a reflection of saying, the light in me sees, honors, and values the light in you. Namaste. It really can be anything. One of my favorite things to say is washing dishes can be a meditation wherever you are as present with the task that you're doing. Going on a walk with your dogs without your phone and just like noticing. The more that we practice and we work on this muscle of our mind, the more accessibility we have to see the beautiful things of creation has to offer. We show up with more gratitude, we show up with more patience, we show up with more understanding for everything around us, and heal our innermost hurt selves. But thank you so much, guys, for letting me hop on and share a little bit. Um,
Thank you. Yeah, I listen to like positive affirmations in the morning, and my hypnotherapist told me to do it while I'm walking because he's like that's like a meditative state. He's like when you're
that is
walking,
EMDR.
yeah,
That is like, yeah, that really does. The brain is so cool, guys.
it is. It really is.
Does anyone have any questions or anything they would like to share?
Anyone, anyone? And Angie, thanks for showing up. You're a little late, but you made it. That's all that matters. I think that's it. That's it.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. That was awesome.
Yeah, guys. I hope that this gave you just a little seed to go explore different types of meditation practices. It really doesn't have to be fancy at all. Get one of those apps. That's
Yeah.
really cool. Just give yourself the time to sit and reflect and think about your highest version of self, and are you doing everything that you can to keep that version of yourself alive and well?
All right, guys. Anyone got anything? I'm gonna get out of here. Good to go. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Carolina, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right.
See ya.
Bye, guys.